Welcome to Inside Evil Interrogations, where we dive deep into the psychological dynamics behind shocking criminal cases. Today, we examine the interrogation of Cameron Rogers, a 22-year-old from Ottawa, Canada, who killed his adoptive parents, Dave and Merrill Rogers, in November 2016. The attack was brutal, involving knives and a wooden sword. After the murders, Cameron concealed the bodies in the backyard and remained at the home for a week before fleeing to Montreal. In his confession, Cameron claimed he acted on impulse, driven by accumulated stress and resentment. The interrogation offers a look into Cameron's mind and the unsettling detachment he displays when discussing the crime. Detectives begin exploring Cameron's background, probing into his relationship with his parents and life circumstances. Cameron describes feeling trapped by his parents' demands, such as forcing him to attend college programs he had no interest in, and requiring him to work around the house without pay. He also shares that he was not allowed to seek employment elsewhere, further contributing to his frustration. Cameron's responses are factual and devoid of emotion, even when discussing these grievances. Forensic experts would observe that Cameron seems more focused on rationalizing his grievances than expressing regret or empathy, which is common in individuals who justify their actions to alleviate guilt.
Okay. On November 20th, 2016, 22-year-old Cameron Rogers attacked and killed his adopted parents with a knife at their home in the Carleton Heights neighborhood of Ottawa, Canada. In 2018, he was found guilty of 2 counts of second-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for 20 years.
Hey, so how you doing?
Good.
Good, you're okay?
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember my name?
No.
You just met me for the first time,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, okay. So my name's Teresa.
Okay.
I'm with the Ottawa Police, and I'm a police officer, and I work in the Major Crime Unit, all right? So I met you for the very first time today, right? Just a few minutes ago, you were in your cells. I was with another officer, and we escorted you here, and we told you to bring your blanket, because as you can tell, it's a little chilly in this room, right? Okay. These rooms are recorded. Okay, so since it's being recorded, I'm just going to indicate today's date and time. It's Tuesday, November 29th, and it's 6:30 in the morning. And your name is? Cameron Rogers?
Yes.
With an S, right?
Yes.
Right, okay, my name's Teresa Kelm. I'm a police officer. And just before we get going, it's my duty to make sure that you understand why you're here. Okay? Those are your rights. Okay? You have rights when you're under arrest. And so I want to make sure that you understand what your rights are, okay, to be fair to you. All right? So do you understand that you're under arrest right now? Okay. And what do you believe you're under arrest for?
Killing my parents.
Okay, so that's called, it's first-degree murder. Okay? So when people are under arrest, they have rights, and it's my duty to explain them to you. So you have the right to retain and instruct counsel. Okay, so that means you can call any lawyer you wish. All right? If you don't have a lawyer, you can call legal aid. It's 1-800-265-0451. It's a toll-free number that will put you in contact with a legal aid duty lawyer. Now, I think that's the Ontario number. I'm sure there's a Quebec number, and we can facilitate that call.
I had already called.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you want to talk to a lawyer again?
No.
No?
It's all sorted out so far.
All right. Yeah. So, if at any time during this interview you want to talk to a lawyer again, I want you to tell me, okay? Is there a reason why you didn't want to talk to another one again?
Not really, but I mean, I already talked to one. I don't want to talk to another one. I don't see why I'd have to talk to 2.
Okay. I just want you to make sure that you understand that if you want to, because the charges you're facing are very serious, And I want to make sure that you understand that if you want to speak to a lawyer, that you can. Okay? The other thing I want to explain to you, and I've already explained this to you, is that the room's being recorded, right? And anything, you don't have to say anything to me. You don't have to answer any of my questions. But anything that you say to me, it's being recorded, and that can be used in court as evidence against you. Do you understand that? Okay, so you don't have to say anything to me, but if you do, we can use that in evidence against you at a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. The other thing is, how have you been treated so far by the officers here?
Well, they're not mean and they're not nice. I mean, they're just neutral.
Okay, all right. And what do you mean by neutral? Like what?
Well, I mean, they're not nice and they're not mean. I mean, like they're just fine.
They're just fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be nice to have some toilet paper.
Oh, there's no toilet paper in there?
No. But that's probably
okay.
not for him.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what the rules are here because I'm not from Montreal. I'm from Ottawa. I can certainly ask them, but I can't make you any promises whether or not we can get it because I'm just kind of like a visitor right now. You got that?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just wanted to verify how you'd been treated by the officers. Did anybody make any promises? Like in terms of, and by promise I mean that telling you that if you say something to the police, we're going to give you a reward or we're going to give you a deal. No? Okay. I just want to make sure because police officers aren't allowed to do that, all right? Yeah. So remember when I came in here, I said I want to make sure that you understand your rights. I want to make sure that you've been treated fairly, and that's important to me. Okay? So nobody's made any promises. Has anybody threatened you? That you better say something to the police, otherwise we're going to do this to you or that? No? Okay. So that's important to me too. So I just wanted to make sure if anybody had, that shouldn't influence you in talking to me today. Okay? Now there's some water there. Do you get thirsty when you talk?
No.
I do. So I'm going to have some. If you want some, you just you help yourself, okay? You've eaten, they gave you some food?
Yes.
Cameron Rogers was born in 1994 and adopted as an infant by Dave and Merrill Gleddy Rogers. According to neighbors and friends, the Rogers family was discreet but friendly. Cameron Rogers was described as being a loner who often spent time outside by himself kicking a soccer ball or riding his bike. Investigators noticed Rogers was polite and quiet. Rogers is autistic and has multiple mental health issues, including attention deficit disorder, according to his lawyer, Christian Deslauriers. At the time of the crime, Rogers was a student at Algonquin College.
Okay, so, Cameron, how old are you?
I'm 22.
You're 22. Oh, okay. And are you in school? Or
I was in school.
Okay. What were you studying?
Electromechanical engineering electromechanical engineering robotics technician.
Wow. And how long have you been studying that?
I was in that for the first year this year, but I came out of another one for the past 2 years. I was in mechanical engineering technology, but then I changed for this year into the first one I mentioned.
Good. And what were your plans? What did you want to do with that degree?
I didn't want that degree.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
So why were you taking it?
Because my parents told me to take it.
Oh, okay. And why were they so keen on you taking that?
Half of the problem was probably because I didn't say anything else. Like I didn't I didn't say another plan for I think. Does that make sense?
So you didn't have a plan, so therefore they gave you a plan?
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because when I was in schooling, that's exactly what happened to me. I didn't have a plan, and my parents made me take these courses that I personally didn't enjoy. Were you enjoying your schooling? No. That must have been hard?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What year were you in?
So for the first 2 years, I was in second year, and then for this past year, I was in first year.
Okay, all right. right. And where were you studying?
Algonquin.
At Algonquin? Okay. And were you taking any other courses anywhere else? No? No? Other than schooling, what were you doing? You tired?
Yeah.
Am I boring you already?
No, nothing else. I wasn't doing anything else.
Okay, all right. What did you do when you weren't in school?
If I wasn't in class, I was studying, and if I wasn't studying, then I was at home helping around the house.
Good.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you lived with your parents? Anybody else? No? Okay. And do you have a lot of extended family?
Like, my mom has 3 brothers,
Okay.
and then they have, or some of them, I think a lot of them have a lot of other family on their other side.
Okay.
But I don't know that the other sides.
Okay. I understand you were adopted, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And how was that? How did that go with your parents?
It went
It
well.
went well, yeah, good. Good. Okay. Now who's the closest person to you, would you say?
My dad.
Your dad, yeah. Okay. All right. And do you have any friends or anything?
I have friends at school
Okay.
that I know from school, and that I know from past jobs.
Okay. All right. So what's been going on in your life then? How have things been going for you? Like
In what way?
in what way? Like were you happy with the way things were going, or?
I don't know if I was happy with how I was going with school, because I was doing a program that I didn't like,
Right. Yeah. I understand.
and also I wasn't really being able to get a job because my parents would insist that I would have to work for them.
For them.
Yeah,
And what do you mean by that?
like around the house.
Okay.
Detectives begin exploring Cameron's background, probing into his relationship with his parents and life circumstances. Cameron describes feeling trapped by his parents' demands, such as forcing him to attend college programs he had no interest in, and requiring him to work around the house without pay. He also shares that he was not allowed to seek employment elsewhere, further contributing to his frustration. Cameron's responses are factual and devoid of emotion, even when discussing these grievances. Forensic experts would observe that Cameron seems more focused on rationalizing his grievances than expressing regret or empathy, which is common in individuals who justify their actions to alleviate guilt.
Okay. And how'd that make you feel?
Not good.
Not good. Yeah. So they didn't want you to go get a job outside the house. So they just wanted you working at the house.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I wouldn't actually get money because they would just say that they'd owe me money. So I actually didn't have any money.
Oh, that must have been hard.
Yes.
So how did you manage then? Like, if you wanted to go out or if you wanted to do something?
If I would want to use money, they would have to approve of it.
Okay.
Cameron Rogers' exact motive for his crimes has not been revealed, but prosecutors suspect arguments about his classes at Algonquin College and his lack of money could have contributed to his outburst of violence. Another reason may be that due to his mental health issues, Rogers' parents restricted him from getting a job.
All right. What kind of work were you doing around the house?
Gardening and stuff involving around the garden
Okay.
or chores.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, how did you end up here in Montreal? What brought you?
I was told by the person I called on the phone, the not the lawyer, but the one that's supposed to help me, that I shouldn't answer questions.
Okay, that's all right.
And I'm feeling that answer is not one I should answer.
Okay, all right. We want to kind of understand kind of where things are at with you. It seems like you were dealing with a lot of stuff in your life, right? Like you seem to have had a lot of pressure going on at school. There was a lot of pressure going around the house, and we know that what happened is really weighing on you, right? And I'm glad you're agreeing with that. I've been working in the homicide unit since 2009, and I've never seen anybody that's reported it to the police the way you did, okay? And that tells me that you're somebody with a conscience and realized what you had done and decided that you needed to do the right thing, all right? What happened before is happened, right? You can't do anything more about it. But what you do have control over is today and tomorrow, right? And when you talk about how the closest person to you is your father, that tells me that there's a reason why this happened, okay? And we want to understand why that happened. Okay, like what set you off? I know there was a lot of pressure going on, like there was the schooling, having to do work at home, not being able to get any money. Something triggered you to go off. And that's what we're trying to understand. There's it seems like something that's not you, because you've never had any dealings with the police. So it doesn't happen very often that you have someone like you that's not had any dealings with the police, and boom, here you are with the murder of your parents. Okay, we know that you've called 911 and you reported it yourself. Okay, so that says a lot about you as a person, that you know what to do. You made a mistake and you're saying, okay, well now I need to do something about it. So you've basically taken control of that situation. But it's what caused you to get there. Whose fault? Like, is it your parents that were pushing you and you're shaking no?
Well, I'm not saying it's not my parents' fault, but I'm not saying it's not my fault. I mean, I shouldn't have done it, which is obvious. But like I don't want to place the blame, so like I can't really say that like my parents were putting pressure, but they were. But I mean that's no account for doing the deed.
But when we're under pressure, I've been under pressure, we've all been under pressure. And sometimes when we're under pressure, it's not us that's reacting, it's the pressure that's reacting, right? I've done things when I'm under pressure that I'm thinking, what the heck was I thinking? It's out of character. And I'm getting the feeling, what I'm hearing from you is that you were under a lot of pressure, and that's how you chose to deal with it. And I respect what you're saying, is that ultimately you're the one that did the deed, but there's something that caused you to want to do that.
Yes.
And there's something that caused you to feel that that's the solution that you needed to do to deal with the pressure.
I guess.
Yeah. So no, that's okay. I mean, it's logical to me. It makes sense. So other than your parents putting pressure on you with school and not wanting you to work and wanting you to work around the house, what else were they doing that was adding to this stress?
Whatever the reason, Cameron Rogers deliberated for an hour before deciding to kill his parents in the morning of November 20th. Waiting in the kitchen, Rogers armed himself and prepared for the assault. Cameron attacked his mother first with a wooden sword he retrieved from the garage. When his father ran in to stop the attack, Rogers began to stab him as well. When the sword broke, he used 3 separate knives to stab his parents.
I don't know. I mean, other than no money and having to go into a program for 3 years that I didn't want to go into, I don't know, like, what else there would be. Like, I can't think of anything.
What else was missing, do you find, in your life that you could attribute to your...
Well, I might have felt, or I might have thought at the time that I was lonely, but then after I killed them, I didn't really feel lonely. Well, I felt more lonely because, anyway, that's irrelevant, but I mean, realized that it was the wrong choice, but anyway.
Yeah. What did you feel you would accomplish by killing them?
Nothing.
Nothing, eh? Okay. And what caused you to just do this?
I don't know. It was like it was, I guess, the spur of the moment. Like it was just I don't know what made me do it. It was just like I don't even know why I did it. Even that I think back to it now, I don't even know why I chose to do it.
Okay. How did you do it?
It was involving one or two knives and a stick.
And a stick, okay. And where did you kill them?
In our kitchen.
In your kitchen? Okay. All right. And what was going on right before you killed them?
I was chopping melon.
Sorry?
I was chopping melon.
Melon?
Yeah.
Okay. And where were your parents in relation to you at that point?
My mom was doing something else in the kitchen.
Okay.
And my dad was somewhere else in the house.
Okay. And then what happened?
Do I have to talk about this? I don't want to talk about this.
Okay, well, why don't we talk about something else for a while, okay? I know that's upsetting you. Why don't we talk about how did they get to the outside?
As detectives dig deeper, Cameron admits to the build-up of stress leading to the crime. He explains how he was chopping melon in the kitchen when he suddenly acted on his impulses. The detectives attempt to establish a motive, but Cameron repeatedly states he doesn't fully understand why he did it. He describes the attack as a spur-of-the-moment decision, while also admitting to deliberating for about 50 minutes beforehand. Cameron's detached tone persists, even as he provides a step-by-step account of the murders, including how he stabbed his father when he tried to intervene. Forensic analysis suggests that Cameron's shifting narrative between impulsivity and premeditation indicates a possible effort to downplay the level of planning involved in the murders.
I put them there.
You put them there, okay. And when did you put them there?
After they died.
Okay.
I didn't want, like, I didn't want, like, my mom's brothers or any friends to come and see them like that.
Okay. Well, that was good of you. Clearly you were concerned for them, for the family members not seeing them, eh? Okay. And how did you get them out to the back?
I had to, I dragged my mom in a tarp.
Okay.
And then I put my dad in a suitcase.
Okay.
And then pulled him out.
Okay. And how did you get him in a suitcase?
Well, I sort of rolled him into it.
Okay. All right. Did you have to do anything to get him into the suitcase? Or?
Well, it wasn't like a perfect fit. Like, I didn't, like, make him, like, fit.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't, like...
Okay. All right. And how long did you remain in the house after the...
A week.
A week? Okay. And where were they for that 1 week?
Well, for a day, they were wherever they got killed.
Okay.
And then, after that, was spent taking them out to the backyard and then cleaning up a little bit,
Okay.
so it wasn't, blood all over the place.
For sure, yeah, because you didn't want any family members to see that. Yeah, that's okay. No, that's understandable, and I can tell you that where they are now, I don't think you need to worry about the family members seeing them like that. Okay,
Okay.
so we're gonna make sure, and that's normal. We don't want them to see that.
Okay.
Okay, now when you said clean up, what room had to be cleaned up?
The kitchen.
The kitchen. Okay, is that the only room that
Yeah.
had to be cleaned up? Okay.
Yeah.
Dave Rogers died quickly from a knife wound to the back that punctured his lungs, but Merrill did not die until 30 minutes after the attack. Before his mother's death and after his father's, 2 uncles called the home to inquire about a birthday dinner that Rogers hadn't shown up for. This placed Rogers at the home and was vital evidence in the later trials.
And where's the knife?
I put the knife, the two, I think it was two knives, in a plastic bag with the stick that had broken, so I put those in the plastic bag and I put it in the black box, which is in the garage.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you do then for that whole week then in the house?
I just stayed in my room
Okay.
because I like I was mostly going to run away from Ottawa.
Okay.
I was hoping to go to the US, but since that didn't work out, I got stuck in Montreal,
Okay. Gotcha.
and then that's when I called.
Okay. And how come you weren't able to get into the U.S.?
Well, you need some kind of like not like a ticket, but like
A passport or?
well, no, not that wasn't the problem. It's like because like to go there, to stay there, you need some kind of visa,
I see.
and I didn't have that, so I'd have to lie, and that just wouldn't work.
Right. Okay. So, do you remember what day of the week this was that this happened to your parents?
Sunday,
It was a Sunday. At about what time was that?
11
In the morning or at night?
in the morning.
In the morning. Okay. All right. Now I understand there was supposed to be some birthday party or there was some dinner that they were supposed to go to.
Yeah,
Okay. Now when was that?
Sunday.
The Sunday. Okay. And did somebody call you to find out where they were?
Yes.
Okay. Who called?
2 of her brothers,
Which ones?
Gord and Graham, I think.
Okay. All right. And what did you?
I was scared, so I said that they had the flu.
Okay. All right. Okay. Did anybody come over in the those 8 days or a week or so?
Well, we have friends from church, and they came over on the next Sunday, and I said the same thing. Felt like they had the flu.
Okay. They were at the house?
Yeah, they came over to the house.
Okay. All right. So where did they ask you where your parents were?
I said that they had the flu.
Okay, but where were they with the flu? I mean, I know where they were, but what did you tell them?
I told them that they were, sleeping in their room, like with the flu. I didn't really give that. All I said was that they had the flu and that they were resting, and that's.
Okay. All right. So we're just going to try to figure, how did you get to Montreal?
I took the train.
Oh, you took the train. Okay. And then how did you get from your house to, which train station did you go to?
In Ottawa.
Yeah, but there's 2 in Ottawa. There's one
There's
on
2.
There's one on Fallowfield and there's one on Tremblay Road.
Tremblay.
Tremblay Road. Okay. And how did you get there?
I drove.
You drove whose vehicle?
My mom's.
Your mom's. Which vehicle is that? Is
It's the van.
the van? Okay. And why didn't you just drive to Montreal?
Well, I have to pay for gas,
Okay.
and I mean, I didn't know if I didn't know. I probably could have, but I mean, if I had to pay for more gas, I wouldn't really be able to pay for more gas.
Right. Okay. So you then took the train to Montreal?
Yeah.
And when did you arrive in Montreal?
At 8:30 on Monday
8:30 in the morning or in the evening?
in the morning
In the morning, okay. And how did you pay for your train ticket?
with some money
Okay, and where did you get that money?
from their purse
From their purse, okay.
Or-
All right, go ahead.
or wallet.
Or wallet?
Yeah.
Okay. From your mom or from your dad's wallet?
I think it was I think it was from both.
From both? How much money were you able to get from their wallet?
140.
140, okay. So you took the train to Montreal, and then what did you do once you arrived in Montreal?
I bought a ticket to the U.S.,
Okay,
but it didn't work.
right. Because you couldn't.
Yeah, there was no visa.
Okay, right.
So
Okay. And what was your plan in going to New York?
somehow survive.
Pardon?
Somehow survive. Like, I didn't really have like a plan.
You didn't have a plan, eh?
No, it's just to get as far away from Ottawa as I could.
Okay, all right. And then when you got turned around, you couldn't come in, you couldn't go into the States. And how do you end up downtown Montreal?
Well, I had to get back from the border because I took the train, but I didn't get past the border.
Okay.
So I had to take a bus back from the border.
Mm-hmm.
And the bus dropped me off, I guess, at the bus station. I don't know exactly where it was, but and then from there I walked to this street that was anywhere where I called.
Right.
Was like a block from where I put my bags, and that was nearby where the bus station was.
Okay. All right. Okay. And so where did you sleep? Oh, so
I didn't
you
really sleep.
You haven't. No, that's right. Because we're Tuesday. That's right. Because
Yeah.
you arrived yesterday morning. Okay. All right. And what's in the bags?
Just clothes.
Just clothes. Okay.
Clothes.
Are we going to find the knife in there, or the stick, or anything, or any weapons?
Well, I have my survival kit, my camping survival kit. So there is a saw and a Swiss Army knife and a sheath knife.
Okay. All right. And what made you decide to call the police, to call 911?
It was, well, I mean, I didn't really have anything else to do, and I mean, I may as well, since it's, I mean, I was feeling down.
For sure.
Cameron continues detailing the events after the murders, describing how he dragged his mother's body using a tarp and placed his father's body in a suitcase. He explains that he did this to prevent family members from finding the bodies in the house. This phase of the interrogation shows Cameron's calculated approach to concealing the crime, displaying a surprising level of organization despite his earlier claims of impulsivity. Forensic experts would find this discrepancy between his alleged impulsivity and methodical behavior significant, suggesting a more deliberate mindset than Cameron acknowledges. His rationalization of cleaning up the scene to spare others from trauma also hints at a superficial sense of morality, possibly to reduce his perceived culpability.
Made me feel more down,
Right, yeah.
and I called.
Right. And how did you feel after you made the call?
Well, I was crying for a long time,
For sure, yeah.
and then I felt better, but I mean, I still don't know if it's fixed, because, you know, like, I mean, we're discussing. I feel like we're still trying to figure out if I did it or not, and I don't understand. Like I thought confessing would mean that I would be, you know, like that would be it.
Yeah, well, you know what? We still need to understand what happened. You know, we need to understand what. Just because somebody tells us they did something, it doesn't mean it happens, right? So that's why when you told Montreal, there's a lot of people say things sometimes that aren't true. So that's why they needed to, you know, figure out figure out what happened. And but you know, it's stuff like this, I think everybody has to make their decision, what's right for them, and clearly you felt this was the right decision for you. But I always use the analogy of a snowball effect, right? You start this nice snowball at the top of a mountain, and it comes spiraling down the hill, and it's picking up debris, and at the end, by the time it gets down there, it's not the same thing anymore, right? So this is something that wouldn't have gone away. Eventually you would have had to dealt with it. Now I'm noticing a cut on your
that was trying to where
left hand.
Where I put my stuff. I was trying to get in because it was like a rundown place and I had to get in, so it got cut.
Oh, okay. Did you sustain any injuries as a result of what happened to your parents? Yeah. Okay. What? So I know you're cutting melons. And that was about at 11 o'clock on the Sunday morning.
Yeah.
What caused you to do that? Like, it was something said or done or...
No, it was literally just a spur of the moment. I don't even know. Like, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, took me 50 minutes of going back and forth about to do it and then not to do it.
Okay, all right. What was causing you to want to do it? Why is it you're thinking you wanted to do it?
I don't remember.
Okay, all right. And what were the plans that day?
The plans was to do some studying and then go to the restaurant for the party.
For the party, okay. All right. And your mom, you said she was in the kitchen? Okay. And where was your dad?
He was somewhere else, I don't know exactly.
Okay. Can you just explain to me how your dad, did it both happen in the kitchen? Okay. How does your dad end up in the kitchen?
Well, when I did my mom, he came running and then I did him.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. And how long did it take?
What do you mean?
Like before your mom, like how long did you...
Well, my dad didn't take very long, but my mom took a long time.
Okay.
And it was really hard because she was in pain and I wanted it to stop. And I couldn't make it stop. And I felt so bad because she was in pain and I wanted her not to be in pain, but I couldn't stop it. And it went for the whole night.
And what?
It took the whole night for her to die.
And how do you know that it took the whole night?
I don't know exactly, but I mean, I went to my room and she was still in pain. I could hear her, but then in the morning it was done.
Okay. And can I ask a question? Why is it then, after, when you realized she was in pain, why didn't you call 911?
Well, I knew it was too late.
Okay. And what do you mean by it was too late?
The wounds were too bad.
Okay. Okay. And so what about your dad? How soon after did you kill your dad?
What do you mean how soon after?
Well, after your mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He came running and then that's when it happened.
Okay, and what did he say when he came in?
Well, he was scared for her.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was quicker with him.
Okay. Now, you talked about a stick.
Yeah.
Who did you use the stick on?
I think it was both.
On both? And what part of the bodies did you hit them with?
I think it was the head.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
The stick broke.
The stick broke on who?
I don't remember exactly.
Okay. All right. And there were 2 knives involved?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, where did you get the knives?
The kitchen.
In the kitchen? Okay. And which knife did you use on which person.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay.
But I think I remember this. There was a smaller one that was only used on my mom.
Okay. All right. Okay. And do you remember what your mom said to you right before?
Like before all of this happened?
Yeah.
No.
No? Okay. Was there a conversation going on with
No.
you and her? No? Okay. Have you told anybody else about this? Other than, so you've told the 911 operator in
Yeah.
Montreal, you spoke to the Montreal officers.
Yeah.
We've spoken. Have you
Yeah.
talked to anybody else about it? No. Okay.
During the interrogation, Rogers confessed to the murders on 3 separate occasions. He did not give a reason for his actions, but his explanation of the events lined up with the evidence found at the crime scene, including the bodies of his parents and forensic evidence found in the kitchen. According to investigators, the bodies of his parents stored in his backyard were frozen and in relatively good condition 2 weeks after their deaths. Physical evidence found at the house and presented in court includes a bloody mop head, blood residue, and various cleaning supplies, and the knives and sword used in the attack. Rogers had attempted to clean up the crime scene, but traces of blood were still present.
Between the time that you've killed your parents
Yeah.
and now, have you hurt anybody else?
No.
No? Okay. So there's no other, you haven't killed anybody
No.
else and you haven't injured anybody
No.
else? No? Okay. Who are the friends that showed up on the Sunday?
They were friends from church.
And do you know what are their names?
I don't want to bring them into this. I mean, if I have to, fine, but I don't want to bring... They're nice people. Do I have to bring them in?
What church are they from?
The Metropolitan Bible Church.
Metropolitan Bible. We'll probably be able to figure out who they are. It's up to you if you want to tell me, but we'll be able to
Okay.
figure out who they are.
Okay,
So
I may as well tell you then. It's a family. There's I know this. Okay, well, I know their daughter. Their daughter is called Catherine because she goes to my school, and her mom. I can't think of it.
okay, all right. Well, we'll be able to figure that out.
And Catherine sings in the choir,
Okay,
if that helps.
okay, okay.
And
Yep.
the man is sort of French, I
Okay.
think. Yeah, he's French.
Okay. So you talked to me about the area that you cleaned up. What area in the kitchen did you have to clean up?
Sort of.
As the detectives present more evidence, including phone records and forensic findings from the crime scene, Cameron maintains his lack of understanding about his actions. He becomes more withdrawn, offering minimal explanations for his behavior. When asked about the emotional state he was in during the killings, Cameron claims that he felt neither anger nor any strong emotion, suggesting instead that it was adrenaline or fear. His responses during this phase reveal an unsettling detachment, as he seems more focused on describing the logistics of the crime rather than confronting the reality of what he did. Forensic analysis would identify this as an attempt to distance himself emotionally from the event, a tactic that aligns with individuals who struggle to confront the full consequences of their actions.
Like in front of the fridge.
Okay.
I don't know how to explain if you don't know the house.
Yeah. Okay. That's all right. What did you clean it up with?
We have a steam thing for tiles,
Oh, okay.
and I use that.
Okay. And where is that now?
I left it in the hall.
You left it in the hall. Okay.
Yeah.
And what other parts of the house did you have to clean up?
Just that.
Just that? Okay. Now, you must have had blood on you.
Maybe just on my arms, but then I washed it off.
Okay. And where did you wash it off?
I guess when I had a shower, it washed off.
Okay. And how many showers are there in the house?
Three.
Three?
Three.
Okay, and which one did you use?
The one upstairs.
Okay, and how many are there upstairs?
One.
Just the one? Okay. Generally, what's the condition of the house? Is it tidy? Is it...
It's tidy. Well, to me, a normal house is slightly messy, but when guests come over, it's tidy. So
right,
you
right.
know.
That's right. Yeah, you're right there. Yeah. Okay. So if I were to go into the house now, what condition is that house in?
In good condition.
It's in good condition. What about in terms of it being...
Like, it's not guest tidy, but it's normal tidy.
Okay. Is it possible it's a little messier than normal?
Victims. Merrill Gleddy and Dave Rogers went to the same small Ottawa high school, Brookfield High. It was the same school their adopted son Cameron would eventually attend. After high school, Dave Rogers studied journalism at Carleton College. In 1982, the couple was married, settling down in their hometown of Ottawa. Dave Rogers worked at the Ottawa Citizen for 37 years as a reporter before his retirement. Dave Rogers' wife, Merrill Gleddy, grew up in a military family and worked as a civil servant for many years before her retirement. The couple was described as being nothing but supportive and warm towards their adopted son, always encouraging him and helping him through occasional struggles in school. At the time of the attacks, Dave Rogers was 69 and Merrill Gleddy was 63.
Maybe my room, since I stayed in there during that whole week that I was in the house because I didn't want to go downstairs.
Okay. Downstairs?
In the kitchen.
Oh, in the kitchen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Are there a bunch of drawers open in the house? And is it a little messy?
No.
No?
Except maybe her bed where I emptied her purse, but other than that, no, everything was left as it was.
As it was? Okay. Okay. So, I know you wanted to go to the States. What do you think was going to happen when people came looking for your parents?
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
We're just hoping to get as far away as I could.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I am going to just leave the room. I'm just going to go and check with my partner to see if I've forgotten anything. Is there anything else that you want to tell me?
I don't know.
No, but is there anything else about this that you wanted to tell me that... No?
Not that I can think of.
Now, the clothes that your parents were wearing at the time of this, where are these clothes now?
Still on them?
Still on them? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't take off their clothes.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's good. I guess this is one thing I'm just trying to understand. So you're cutting melons, and what was your mom doing?
She was doing some kind of herb thing. I don't know what it was. It was just she was grinding herbs or something.
Okay. And how was that morning? This was around 11 o'clock. So what was going on that morning in the house?
I don't know. I mean, what was...
Did you have an argument with your parents, or...?
Well, I mean, the whole disagreement about school and work and all that was just hanging over me. And I mean, I guess, we've had arguments before.
Okay.
And heated, yelling ones, and I guess just at that time when the cloud broke, I was chopping a melon.
Okay. And what were you arguing about that day? While you were chopping the melon?
I don't know if I was arguing. At that time, I was not arguing.
Okay. All right.
No.
Okay.
But maybe a day or two before, we had been arguing.
Okay. And
about those issues.
Okay. And anything in particular? So you're talking about school, about
the work issue.
And what was your mom like when she argued with you about it?
Well, I didn't have a say.
Okay. And so you're chopping the melon, and is that the knife that was used?
I think so.
Okay. Okay.
I think so.
All right. And where did you stab her on her?
In the back.
In the back, okay. And how many times?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay. And how did she react when she was stabbed the first time?
Actually, wait. I didn't stab her first. I used a stick first.
You used the stick? Okay.
Yeah.
And where did you get the stick?
I made it.
Oh, okay. When did you make it?
A while back.
Okay. And when you say made it, how do you make
I
it?
carved it.
Oh, cool. Okay. And for what purpose?
Just to do.
Okay.
I had a lot of time on my hands in the summer.
Okay. And what were you going to use that stick for?
I don't know. There was no plan when I made it.
Okay. Okay. And where were you keeping that stick?
In the garage.
In the garage. Okay. So how does it end up being in the kitchen that day?
I don't know. I was planning. During those 15 minutes of going back and forth, one of those times I thought of using the stick.
Okay. On.
My mom.
Okay. To do what?
I don't know.
Okay.
Do I really have to say it?
No, I'm just trying to understand it. I was a little confused as to how the stick was in the kitchen, but I understand. So it was in the garage because you were kind of thinking you were back and forth. All right. Okay. So use the stick. All right. Okay. And what about on your dad? What was used for him?
A knife.
The knife?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There are 2 knives, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said? Right. Okay. And the smaller one, you said you used it on your...
Mom only.
Right. And then the larger one?
On both.
On both. All right. Okay. I am just going to leave the room for a couple of minutes. I just want to go and check with my partner to see if I've forgotten anything. And I'll be back in a minute, okay? It won't be too long, all right? Thanks. Sorry there. It's a very noisy building. Noisy building. Just a few little points. I know that the week after it happened, you said you stayed at your house. Okay, and where you stayed in your room? You told me. How were you? Were you eating? Okay, and where did you go to eat?
I ate in my room, but I had to go downstairs to get the food.
Oh, okay. Did you go out at all? No? Okay. Did you make any phone calls or watching TV? No? No? Okay. And where were you sleeping?
In my room.
You were able to sleep?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
In the first trial of Cameron Rogers, he pleaded guilty in hopes of receiving a lesser sentence of manslaughter. During the end of the first trial, Rogers claimed his father had sexually assaulted him. Later, he took back these accusations. Prosecution believes this false allegation was an attempt by Rogers to convince the jury this attack was self-defense. This new information was presented later in the case, resulting in a need for a longer trial than expected. 3 of the existing jurors could not remain on the case. This first trial's length resulted in a mistrial to allow new jurors to be found.
In the final minutes, detectives asked Cameron about his decision to flee to Montreal. He explains that he initially planned to escape to the US, but was stopped at the border due to a lack of proper documents. With no other options, he stayed in Montreal until he eventually called 911 to confess, claiming he felt down and didn't know what else to do. When asked why he chose to confess, Cameron states that he wanted to be honest and felt he deserved to be punished. Despite this claim, his lack of visible remorse throughout the interrogation raises questions about whether the confession was motivated by guilt or a desire to end the ordeal. Forensic experts would view Cameron's confession as a mix of resignation and self-preservation, lacking genuine emotional expression or remorse.
That's right. Okay, that's what I thought you said. I just wasn't sure about that. In the past, when you've had arguments with your parents, how did that end? Those arguments, like how would you deal with it?
I would watch like shows and stuff.
Okay.
You know, I guess that's the answer.
Okay. And
Like I wouldn't win
okay. Okay.
the argument.
Okay. All right. And how'd that make you feel?
I don't know, like not good.
Probably, yeah. Okay. Did you ever have any, did you ever assault them in the past? Out of fear or, not out of fear, but out of anger? No? Okay. All right. And we're just about done. The stick you told me is where is the stick right now? I know it's broken.
I'm pretty sure I got all the pieces and I put it in the bag with the 2 knives and I put that bag in the black recycling bin in the garage.
It's a black recycling bin. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, where's that black box now?
In the garage.
And has the recycling been picked up?
No, I would have had to put that outside.
And did you?
No.
No? Okay, so it's still there.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you describe the knives to me?
Well, one has a green handle
Mm-hmm.
and one has a black handle.
Okay, which is the longer one?
The black one.
The black one. Okay, and how long is the blade?
Well, it's like those like ones that you use for cooking and like cutting.
Okay.
Sort of long and like it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a kitchen knife.
Okay, how long is the blade, would you say?
Like that, I think.
Okay, so you're demonstrating, looks like that's about 8 inches, or if I'm right. And
Right.
what about the shorter one?
Like that.
Okay, so maybe
That's
about
long.
4 inches or something. Okay, all right. And I know you spoke about that you're in school. How much schooling did you have before that? Like, did you go to high school before? And did you graduate? Okay, and where did you graduate?
Brookfield High School.
Okay, oh, good for you. Oh, good. So you got your high school diploma? Oh, good. And then where did you go after high school?
Straight to college.
Okay. And how were you doing in school, in high school?
Well,
You were doing well? Yeah, what
Yeah.
type of marks were you getting?
higher, like not A's, but well, some were A's, but in the B's.
Okay. Oh, good for you. Good. Were you in the regular program?
Like when you say that,
Like just a regular, like was it in a special needs class?
I
or-
was part of the special needs,
Oh, okay.
but I didn't like it, so I went to the like the normal ones.
Oh, okay. All right. And what was the special needs? Why were you in the special needs
Because I
class?
have slight autism.
Okay. All right. And how does that affect you?
Well, when I'm not on the meds, I have bad coordination, but when I am on the meds, I don't have bad coordination.
Okay. All right. And how do you react when you're not on the meds? I know you've got the bad coordination. Anything else? No? Okay. And how does your mind feel when you're not on the meds?
Fine,
And when you're on the meds?
fine.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anything else? Diagnosed with anything else?
Well, I have sleep apnea,
Oh, okay.
but that's not really that bad.
Right. And how bad is it? When you said it's not bad, but how bad is it? Like how
I just maybe snore a
you
little bit,
snore?
maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, since I don't really.
Okay. All right. Do you sleep? You're a good sleeper?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Have you been diagnosed with anything else? Whether it be your mental well-being? Nothing. No. Physically? Anything? So physically, your health is good. All right. Okay. And when did you last take? Did you take your meds last week for your
Yeah.
autism? Yeah. Right. And do you take it regularly?
I normally do.
Okay. Now, when you say normally, when do you not take it?
Like right now,
Oh, right now. Okay.
you know, since I don't have any stuff.
You don't, eh?
No.
Okay. All right. When was the last time you missed it, other than right now?
Maybe during the summer for a couple of days.
A couple of days. All right. Okay. 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 All right.
In the second trial, Cameron Rogers pled guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder. With the dismissal of the sexual assault story and the re-examination of the evidence, the jury was confident in sentencing Rogers. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for 20 years. Rogers declined to comment at the sentencing. His lawyers defended his decision to remain silent throughout his court hearing, explaining his autism made it difficult to communicate in stressful situations.
Now, your dad, where did you told me you used the bigger knife on him, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where on his body did you stab him?
The back.
In the back? All right. Okay. How many times?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's right. You told me that. And just one, I think one more question. I think then I'm done. What time of the day did you bring them outside?
It wasn't at night. I know that I wanted to do it at night, but I didn't do it at night. It was sometime during the day.
Okay, so
it was in the backyard, so
that was my next question. How did you get them? Like, where's the kitchen? Is it in the front of the house or the back of the house?
kitchen is like in the sort of front area, but we have a back door that leads to a deck that leads to the backyard.
Okay, so then your mom, you said you dragged her on the tarp?
Yes.
Where in the house or outside did you first put her on the tarp?
I put her on the tarp in the kitchen.
Oh, in the kitchen.
I brought the tarp in, and
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, and where was the tarp?
It was outside. It was like we have a garden, so we have tarps.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So
all right.
I just took a tarp.
Okay, and all right. And do you have any neighbors on either side?
Yeah. Well, one of them is like never really there, and the other one is also. Yeah. I guess they're not. Well, it's not like one is really never really there, and the other one is like. It's there sometimes and not there other times.
Okay. Were you worried about them seeing you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And your dad, how did you?
It was the suitcase.
Okay.
I put them like partially in a suitcase. It wasn't like completely. It was like sticking out. Yeah. It was hard.
Okay. All right. And why did you put him in the suitcase?
I didn't want to drag him.
Okay. All right. Okay. And what were you thinking when you were doing this to them?
No, like when I was moving them.
No, when you were actually stabbing them and hitting them.
I don't remember exactly what I was thinking, but I don't think I was thinking anything. Maybe it was just adrenaline or something.
Okay.
Or just
But were you feeling angry? Were you feeling...
I don't think I was feeling angry. Maybe, no, actually, I don't think I was feeling actually any anger.
Yeah. Okay.
Which sounds actually really bad.
Mm-hmm.
But and I think that's what I was saying, that like it took me like 50 minutes of going back and forth of thinking to do it and then not thinking I shouldn't do it, and then I finally did it, but it was like I don't know how to explain it. It was
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't like out of anger, like I don't think.
So what was the purpose then?
I don't know. Like I don't know how to explain it. It was like I think like it's not that I wasn't doing it for anger, but at the moment when I did it, I wasn't feeling really angry.
Okay.
Maybe it was just the fact that it took me like maybe at the beginning I was angry, but then doing the 50 minutes of about to do it and then not doing it, and then like when I say not doing it, I mean like chickening out.
Mm-hmm. Right. No, I understand that. Yeah. All right, okay, I'm just gonna make one quick, just speak to my partner, and I think then we're just about done. Okay, I won't be too long. You still have your water there?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't be long. Okay, one question, and then we're done. I guess what I'm trying to understand is, I know there was no real argument that day. It was a cumulative effect, right, of the stress that you were going on with regards to work, and you're nodding, school, and having to do chores around the house. So why did that happen on the Sunday then? Like, what is it that said?
I don't know why it happened on the Sunday. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to. I just don't know. It happened on that day. Maybe it was impulsive or something, or it just. I don't know.
Okay, well, I don't know if it was impulsive because you'd been thinking on and off, right, for 50 minutes. So
yeah, it was impulsive.
Pardon?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. And you don't recall the last argument you had with them? No. All right. Okay.
I also have a bad memory, but anyway.
Well, yeah. Okay. You seem to have provided pretty good memories with everything with regards to what happened. So I think I have a good understanding. At the beginning, I told you that. Remember, I explained the room was being recorded and that you didn't have to talk to me unless you wanted to, and you chose to explain to me what happened.
Well, I feel that I should be in trouble because I did something bad.
Pardon?
I feel that I should be in trouble because I did something bad.
Well, you're under arrest, and you're going to be charged.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, but I guess my question, that you understood that at the beginning, and you knew why you were here. My question to you is that at the beginning I told you that you didn't have to talk to me, and you did.
Yeah.
I just
wasn't supposed to.
Well, that's okay, but why is it then that you decided to talk to me?
Because I did something bad, and I want to be honest about it, and I feel that I should get in trouble, more like finish this
I
trouble.
see what you mean. Okay.
Like.
I see. Okay. And how do you feel now that you've come out and told us about it?
Well, I feel slightly better, but I mean it's not over yet.
No, it's not. No. Okay, all right. And do you feel that, did I threaten you at all? No, and I didn't make you any promises, or no? All right, okay. I just wanted to make sure that we understood that. And, it's I know it wasn't easy, telling me the truth. I want to thank you for telling me and explaining this to me. I think we have a pretty good understanding of what's transpired now. So what's going to happen now is you're going to have to...
Cameron Rogers' interrogation offers a disturbing glimpse into a complex psychological profile marked by detachment, suppressed anger, and justification of his actions. His calm and factual recounting of events, combined with a lack of visible remorse, reflects a disconnection from the consequences of his behavior. While Cameron repeatedly downplays the planning involved, his methodical actions after the murders suggest a more deliberate approach than he admits. This interrogation serves as a critical example of how forensic experts must distinguish between claims of impulsivity and evidence of calculated behavior in analyzing confessions. Subscribe to the Inside Evil Interrogations for more in-depth breakdowns of real criminal cases and the psychological dynamics behind them.